Hello everybody and welcome to the Zentangle project pack number 19 and the 2022 12 Days of Zentangle, one of our favorite traditions here at Zentangle Inc. This is Julie Willand and I am so excited to be here tangling with you guys today. I have my Tangle Tree template, a Micron 08 black and a Micron 01 black, all of which are found in the Zentangle Project Pack 19 materials, which are available on zentangle.com and also from some of our certified Zentangle teachers. But as always, if you don't have the Project Pack materials, we encourage you to follow along with whatever you have at home. We do suggest doing this series in order, beginning with the introduction video. So if you have been following along with us from the beginning, your template probably looks similar to mine, although always different because our artwork is always different and unique and beautiful in its own way. And guys, I'm so excited to get started today, and I'm not trying to be dramatic, but no, I am trying to be dramatic. We are exploring some drama tangles today, and shocking that I was chosen to do this Tangle Genius. It just doesn't make any sense, but I do love a drama tangle, so I am very excited to share with you some today and how we can add them to this piece. It's going to be awesome, but just to begin, beautiful, bold, captivating, exciting, but enough about me. Let's get started with drama tangles. The first thing that comes to mind when describing a drama tangle is more ink. Drama tangles pack a lot of punch as they tend to have intense areas of solid color. Because they tend to have large areas of ink or open space, these graphic, eye-catching tangles add interest and drama to your tangled compositions. These tangles often take a little bit more. They involve some filling in of ink. They can require a little bit more focus, but it is worth it. We just, say always be patient and trust the process. Drama tangles are often very strong left unshaded, but at the same time, they offer endless options for enhancing with shading. Just always be sure to let the ink dry completely before adding and smoothing your graphite. So we are not going to be shading our tangles today because we're going to be shading this whole piece towards the end with Molly, who we all know is the queen of shading. But we're just going to trust the process today and get started. So I'm going to begin with my black Micron 08. And we're going to do one of my favorite drama tangles, which is Bunzo. This tangle's been around for quite a while, and it has its roots with tangle striping, yet offers a nice twist with layers of stripes that form crescent shapes. And what I really love about this tangle is how it's a drama tangle, but it just grows on other tangles that you have down. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to just add it in different places and nestle it in and tuck it in here and there and let it grow and see where it takes us. But to begin, I'm going to start towards the roots of my tree. And again, I'm working with my black Micron 08. And I'm going to draw like a little crescent, a little ladybug shape. And then I'm going to take off and land, but aura that shape. So start with at the same corner and then land on the other corner. So it's not quite take off and land, but I wanted to emphasize that I'm starting at one point, auraing out, and then back in the middle, kind of like a hammock. I know we've discussed this technique in a couple different project packs, and people always have all these fun names for it. But there we go. We have our first little bunzo down. And then I'm going to again kind of start in that same point and draw another arc. This one's a little bigger. I'm going to billow out a little bit. I'm not even sure if that's a real word, but I'm going to go with it. Billow out. Sounds right. I apologize to all our listeners who, if English is not your first language and you're not sure what I'm talking about. And then I'm going to do the same thing, starting and ending at that same point. So it's kind of like a halo. And then so I filled in this one. I'm going to leave this spot blank, and I'm going to fill in this one. And then I'm going to add another arc. But I'm going to start not at that first corner, but maybe up here a little bit and go out that way. And I am paying attention to the lines that are already down. And so I'm going to draw behind them. But you'll find that sometimes we're going to draw behind and sometimes we're going to draw right over. And then I'm going to again add my aura. And fill it in. So traditional bunzo is these little striping shapes, and they're kind of done in a circular way, all kind of like growing out of each other. But my bunzo is going to kind of grow and make its own shape. Because you can make it go in different directions. And grow in all sorts of ways. So you can see I started here, we went that way a little bit, now we're going this way. And now I'm going to go back. And I'm going to keep filling this section with my bunzo, growing this way and that. So there I have my first little section of bunzo, and you can just see how all of that black ink is just like, wow, your eye is drawn directly to it on this piece. It's bold, it's fun, and this is going to be a great one to shade too, so I can't wait for you guys to do that. But we're going to move on to another space, and we're going to add some more bunzo. And so I think I'm going to move over here. And again, I'm going to start in the corner here, adding my little crescent. Looks like a little croissant. Drama tangles sometimes work really well next to some like fine line tangles. It really just adds contrast. A great drama tangle that we're not going to work with today, but is Knightsbridge, and you can tuck that in anywhere and really just bring a lot of drama and excitement to your tile. Sometimes I say to my husband, it's just fun to be dramatic sometimes. I think it feels good sometimes. And the same can be said for our drama tangles here. So here you see all my little crescent shapes, all different sizes, and they're not perfect, and we don't want them to be. And here I'm just kind of letting them get smaller and smaller. And I'm going to draw right over the vine right there. And I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to start this again. So there's lots of different ways you can approach bunzo, and there's no right or wrong. And it's really hard to plan a bunzo. You don't really know where it's going to go or where it's going to take you till you start drawing, which is really fun. This big piece we're working on can sometimes be hard to turn, but it is definitely possible. So if you can, remembering to turn your tile. And just really savor the process of filling in these spots with ink. And right now we're working with this black 08, which is really such a great tool for this. But whether you're working with an 08, an 01, or whatever it is, just take your time. Remembering that these areas of ink might take a little bit longer to dry. So you want to just be mindful of your hand. Don't wipe over it right away. Be mindful of your grip on the pen. I just realized that I was holding the pen so hard. So just relax, stretch out your fingers. Even when coloring in, these pens just need the lightest of touches, and the ink just flows out on this paper. So there, I've filled that space with bunzo, and you can see how both of these spaces look completely different, even with the same tangle in there. So now I'm just going to add a few bunzos here and there. So you see how they can just grow along anything. Kind of reminds me of, was it the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland? But this really is such a great tangle to have in your toolbox because it's, it adds that drama, it adds that character, that boldness. You get a lot of ink, but you can just fit it anywhere. I'm going to turn my tile over here, and I'm just going to add some, again, just a few little places, just tucking it in. So the Marasu that I have right here, that's another example of a drama tangle. That one really adds a lot of character. You have those big areas of black ink. So now we have our bunzo down. We've got a few spaces and then it's growing elsewhere, and you can always add a bunzo wherever you feel like you need one. But I'm now going to move on to our second drama tangle today, and this is exciting because it is a brand new tangle that we just released last month at our CZT reunion event in Newport, Rhode Island. And this tangle has a fun story behind its name, and I'm going to get us started with tangling, and then I'm going to tell you where it came from. But this tangle is Puyang. Fun little name there. And I'm going to pick up my Micron 01. I am going to be working, you need a little bit of space for this tangle, so you want to pick maybe one of these outer areas. Over here I have my Marasu and the Mycelium, both of which are also drama tangles. And so I think I'm going to put this one over here just for a little bit of balance. I'm going to zoom in for you guys a little bit right there. And you'll see here, I already have my line down, but we're going to start by adding a slightly curved line coming from the corner, about maybe 1/4 of the way down. And if you just want to watch me for a moment, and then we can get started. But I'm going to add an aura, but like the bunzo, I'm going to take off from that initial spot, add an aura, and then land right at that point. And then I'm going to do the same thing again. Take off and land. And this time on the second aura, I'm going to add a little bit, actually a lot of bit of weight to this line. Kind of that diva dance, gorgeous effect. The beginning of this tangle is a lot like Gorgeous, where we're going to add these big sections of weight to our lines. And then again, I'm going to aura, and then again. And the second one, I'm going to add the weight. So we're having one aura that's just a fine line, and then another aura that we're adding the weight to. And weighting is fun. One, it's a great way to add some ink and some drama to your tangle composition. It just really allows you to shape your line. So if you put a line down that maybe doesn't look exactly how you want it to, you can shape it into exactly what you want. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to aura, and then again adding my weight. And each line is going to have a different amount of weight, and that's okay. And then aura again. And actually, I'm going to go in here. Looks like I have a couple of fine lines in the middle there. So I'm going to add weight to the middle one. And then I'm going to actually extend that line up a little bit because we want it to come down a little bit. So it looks like a little bit like a garlic bulb, perhaps. And then I'm going to start right here where the shape tends to come out into this bulb. And I'm going to draw an orb around it. And so I'm going to pretend like I'm going under this little tipply shape I have there. And so this bulb is like in the middle of this. And for me, it's going to be much easier for me to turn my towel, what I'm working on. And I'm going to draw a little bit of an arc that goes across from the bulb to the outer line. And then I'm going to draw another one that's going to be thin at the bottom, but get a little fatter as we get to the top. So thin at the bottom, a little fatter. And you can see I'm kind of coming over the line here to give it that little lip. And then I'm going to fill it in with ink. And now we're working with an 01. So it's a little different than filling in with that 08, but again, just really take a moment to appreciate that. And then I'm going to add a fine aura on either side. And I'm going to repeat this all the way around. So as we do this, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this tangle. So we have a dear friend here at Zentangle. He works for Sakura of America, and his name is Peter Oyang, hence the Poyang. And he has been such a friend and mentor to all of us here at Zentangle over the past 20 years that it only seemed fitting that we honor him by giving him his very own tangle. So he was present. He was joining us online at our CZT event where we unveiled this tangle in honor of him. So Peter, if you're watching, we love you. Thank you for everything. And this tangle is just, it's so much fun. I think it's becoming one of my favorites. This entire project pack has been just a great exercise for me in stepping out of my comfort zone. And so it's not, this project pack was a little different in the sense that in order, like I had to do all the previous days before I could do my day, because everything is kind of building off of each other. So usually when I'm working on tiles, like I can do my individual tile without having had to have complete all the other tiles in that project pack. Yeah, I can go back and do them afterwards. But this one was a little bit different, and it was great because I had to do things and pick routes that I wouldn't normally choose if I was just tangling on my own fruition. And it really did send me outside my comfort zone. Like, for example, I had never, well, I don't want to say never, I had done one, but very rarely do I ever do an embedded letter because it wasn't something that clicked for me at first. But I had to do the embedded letter, and I sat there and I watched Maria's video and I did it, and I didn't want to stop doing it. It was so much fun. And I don't think I would have chose to put an embedded letter, just turning my paper here, on a project that I was doing otherwise. So I think it's always, you know, we have our comfort tangles. If you know me, you know I'm a big fan of comfort tangles, and there's nothing wrong with doing those, but sometimes it is good to be pushed outside of your comfort zone. I feel like these project pack series do, since all of us here at HQ have such different styles and ways of doing things. So it was a lot of fun to kind of just trust the process and go with the flow. So I hope that you all are doing the same and are finding it just as beneficial for you. Although I know that some of you are a lot more daring than I am sometimes with your Zentangle art, which is awesome. You know, we are constantly inspired by all of you. And that's the wonderful thing about this community. So thank you so much. Like I said, this thing is a little bit cumbersome to turn. But I'm just going around, and now I'm just drawing behind. This looks like a tipple fern to me. That's what I'm going to call it. Or it kind of looks a little bit like rock candy. Which makes my teeth hurt just saying it. So now I'm going to add the final piece of our poyang. And I'm going to come to the middle-ish of this part that I just put down. And I'm going to draw a longer tail, if you will, coming out of it. And then I'm going to take the same approach that I took up here with that aura, add weight, fine aura, as we go along the bottom of our shape here. So again, find a place that feels comfortable to you. And instead of taking off and landing, I'm going to move along the edge of this shape. But I am going to land down at the bottom here with that shape. So what I mean by that is I'm not starting here. I'm starting a little bit over here. And I'm going to aura. And as I get closer to the bottom, I'm going to get more narrow and land. And then I'm going to add my weight. It's going to be thicker at the top. And then I'm going to aura. And again, land down there at the bottom. Aura. And land. Being very generous with my weight here. Again, just taking your time to fill in the space. And as I move further out, you'll see I'm not going all the way down to the bottom. My auras stop a little bit closer to the top. And so I'm really just giving some shape to this creature growing. And we are going to repeat what I'm doing on the other side. And it's up to you if you want to move back and forth or do one whole side like I am. I think I'm going to stop there and move to the other side and start adding my auras there. And we can always go back and add more if we think we need to keep growing it. And again, as we go further out, our auras are landing higher up. Again, giving it shape. I think I'm going to stop there. So look at how fun poyang is. We've got this little garlic shape that looks like it's then being squeezed out the bottom. Add just make my tail a little bit longer. So fun. So that's a brand new tangle. Again, that was Po-Yang. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I just wanted to thank you all so much for getting dramatic with me today as we explored some drama tangles. Again, beautiful, bold, captivating, exciting. Your eyes are drawn to them immediately. And just a great thing to add to the composition of any tangling that you're doing. And we're going to shade everything at the end with Molly. So you can leave these for now, but I promise it only gets better with shading. It's like the icing on the cake. But again, just thank you so much for tangling along. Welcome to the Drama Club starring Bunzo and Po-Yang.
So thank you so much, Julie. Rick and Maria here. Julie didn't get back into the studio to do the voiceovers.
Oh, so we're going to look at everybody else's
We'll
work.
look at everyone's
This
together
one happens
here.
to be mine.
Yes.
So I got my Po-Yang in there and some Bunzo.
And I love how you added some black berries up to those Bronx spears there.
Yeah. This is so cool. Look at this.
So this is Martha's, and she
has multiple Po-Yang and
embedded Po-Yang.
embedded Po-Yang.
I love that, right?
It's cool, right?
And then some wandering bunzos here and there.
Yeah.
Sort of playing off the different
Very
elements.
dramatic. We have Ricky's hair,
And
which
here's
is
mine.
very cool.
Just sort of, my Po-Yang is the other way around.
Oh, no, it's actually doing a flip.
It's doing a flip.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
in motion.
It's in motion. I like it.
Right.
It's very cool. Very cool stuff.
And then we finish up here with Molly's.
Oh, look at that Marisol. Oh,
Right?
whoa. And Po-Yang is floating way out there.
Right? So this is so wonderful.
The bunzo almost looks like a posy of flowers.
Right.
Yeah. How
So
cool.
thank you, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow, and can't wait to see the final result of all this.
See you later.
Bye now.